go. Check those out. What is up, everyone? We are back. And now it is time for us to really get in onto this RZR and start doing our wire work. We are gonna go ahead and start with the battery terminals. I got these really nice battery terminals. If you don't remember seeing them on the other video where I introduced all the cool stuff that we got for this thing, here they are right here. We've got tons to select from. We've got dual banks. So these are a smaller set here, but they're all 25 amp rated, so we shouldn't have any problems with hooking up some good solid product to this. If there's gonna be a little bit more wattage, a little bit more amps needed. We've got all kinds of different lengths, so we can just determine what we want to put in here. I'm really starting to like these ones a little bit better. They're a little bit more bulkier, a little bit more capable. There's only 5 on here though, so I could just put multiple ones next to each other. But these are also nice too, because these are, you could use these for like smaller accessories like rock lights. The rock lights would be perfect for this, not a big deal, but this one is a 12 bank right here. So we have 12 rows of terminals in this area. And then we have these really cool little connectors that, like, if I wanted to put the power to here and have power through all these for the same power, I can just go ahead and slap this thing right up here and it'll make sure all these other terminals have power as well. So that's what we're gonna go ahead and start with. So let's just go ahead and get it on, baby. All right, folks, well, we got the terminals in. I think they turned out really good. It was a little bit more challenging to get in than I thought it was gonna be, because these screws are just in a very tight, strange spot. But we did manage to get it. And while we're in here, I just want to correct something that I said last video. I was showing everybody this wire harness here, and I said that it was for the stock lights. It's actually not. These are for my rigid driving series lights. So the stock light harnesses are right here. There's one for the driver's side, and this one is for the passenger side. So I think what I'm gonna go ahead and do is just tuck them back and connect them to the other stock wire harnesses. This one, it looks like I can completely take off and run back into the center, this cubby right in here, and secure that, so that way it's not out here, doesn't need to be into the elements, and you can just get it out of the way. So that's what we're gonna do. So what's next is, I guess we're gonna do the terminals for the back battery area. So I'm gonna have to pull that panel back out. I currently have them in the back of my truck right now, because there's just so many panels. They're all back there is where I'm storing them. So let's go grab that and see what we're gonna do for the battery area. So here's the original area, the way it's supposed to look. Now there is a bar that goes over that. That's actually sitting back there in that area. But nonetheless, I do remember this being completely empty right here. So we might be able to put an amplifier right behind the passenger seat in this area. Might be also better, because my wife's a little small and her seat is usually up further. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and put the amplifier back here. So I think we can go ahead and throw another terminal strip right here for any additional wiring that we might want to do in the future. So that way our batteries stay nice and clean. We don't have to worry about that getting clogged up like it was before. So let's just go ahead and install one of those right here. It should be a lot easier than before. All right, folks, we got our terminals installed. I think this looks really good. I'm gonna have to turn probably 2 of these into the accessory point. So what I'll probably do here is put these 2 as the accessory. So I'll have 4 power and I'll have 4 negatives as well. So I'll just have to throw a jumper between this one and this one. I did install it with some stainless steel hardware, so none of this stuff should rust. Let's just hope for the best, and if it does, then we'll just figure it out later. But same with this over here at the battery box, same situation. I think it turned out really good. Now we're ready, folks. I figured out what wires we want to keep in here and all that stuff. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and make that jumper for the accessory. So we got our solder irons set up, our station's all good to go. I already love these, I've used them, so they're cool. But nonetheless, once we get that jumper set up, what we're gonna do after that is we're gonna go ahead and run our main power and negatives from the front to the back. So those terminals are gonna be set up. Then after that, we'll just go ahead and see what else we wanna do. I think I'm gonna go ahead and start with the rock light kit. I really love my rock lights. They're really bright. They're Polaris OEMs that you can buy off their website. They're about $150. They don't sell singles anymore. When I bought them, I was able to buy the blue single light, which is actually what I have up here in my rear and my front fender. You can kind of see it down there a little bit. But like I said, I'm gonna pull this front thing off anyway and reposition that. But I think that's where we're gonna start. We'll start with that after we run our main power. So let's just go ahead and do it. This thing is coming along so nicely. We've already got our winch all set up, and that switch is right here. We also have our negative and our positive ran and our jumper switch here, our jumper cable for the switch, the accessory switch. And I wanted to start with the rock lights, but I didn't because I just kept looking at this winch wire bundle here and it was just driving me crazy. But we got it all nice and cleaned up. It looks really good. We have our little plug-in. This wire right here is for a hard landline plug-in in case I have to jump out of the RZR and winch myself outside while I'm not driving. Here is the rocker switch connection right here. It's perfect. Now look at all this wiring that I pulled out from that winch. This is a ton of stuff, just totally unneeded. So I am gonna keep it just in case I need some wire in the future, but just look at all that, my goodness. Here is the power and the negative from the front right here. That's these two cables. I have my positive and negative for the battery, and then these two right here are for the winch itself. So winch is complete. We're all good to go there. Not a big problem getting that cleaned up. It was just a little time consuming, but now it looks really nice and clean. I'm really happy with it. So I think the next thing we're gonna do is we're probably gonna install the rock lights and make sure all that wiring is clean. Just look at that bundle, that's just gross right there. All right, folks, well, that's gonna do it for tonight. It's getting a little bit late and it's Easter Sunday, so I definitely wanna spend some time with Jessica. So I guess we'll start with the rock lights tomorrow and we will catch you later. All right, everyone, well, welcome back. It's time to get into these rock lights, so just let's get into our box of goodies and see where they're at so we can start unwiring this bundle and getting these things put into place and making it all right. Here's our box of stuff. So I put the rock lights on top so that way we knew exactly where they were. There's all of our other stuff that we're gonna get to later. So right here, this is what comes when you order the Polaris rock lights. These are the OEM harness that you can get from them off their website. I like them a lot. They're really bright. I'm gonna keep them. I got 5 lights like I said before. So let's just go ahead and undo this bundle and start to figure out specifically where these things are gonna go on the rig. Here's what this system looks like right here. As I said before, bundle Then you have, this is your accessory wire. You have a positive and negative wire for your toggle switch right here. And then these connectors would go to the actual light. That's the one that goes into the front of my grill. So like I said before, I took the grill off and there's the front grill light right there. And it's a very easy setup. The only problem with this is I actually yanked these out before figuring or taking a picture of the toggle switch in the back. So we're gonna have to hook all this stuff back up really quick just to make sure that I know specifically where these are supposed to go on the back of this switch right here. All right, well, we hooked it up and we tested it, and this is exactly how I want it. We got this toggle switch right here, and it's hooked up to be full on or full off, regardless of whether I have the key in there. I do not want this hooked up to the accessory terminal because I want to be able to leave my lights on at night if we're just hanging out, partying, things of that nature. All right, folks, we did all of our wiring for our rock lights tonight. We also got our new zombie switch installed. So we got our rock lights hooked up to this really cool zombie light switch. And then we also put my most favorite upgrade so far is these really cool USB switch. Well, not a switch, but plugs. So I went ahead and I ripped out that 12-volt cigarette lighter thingy. I installed this. I did have to drill this up to a 1 1 1/4 hole. So we did drill that out to install that, but that's gonna be really sick. It's been taking a long time because of all the soldering that we're doing, but nonetheless, I think it's gonna turn out great. We got all of the wiring done that we wanted to do so far. So let's just check it out so that way you can see it. It's late, it's dark, so we can put on these lights. Let's go. Okay, so what I ended up doing, I know I asked you all for some feedback, but just after working on this thing, I feel like just keeping the cubes in the front right by the grill is the right way to go. I'm gonna leave the headlights deleted just like that. I think it's gonna look really good once we get everything put back together. Our bus bars look super good, very clean, and it's a little bit dark in here, you can't see them, but the rock lights still need a little bit work as far as placements in the back, but the front grill is all done. It's ready to go. Are you all ready to see it? Can you wait? All right, let's check it out. Okay, so we got our cool zombie switch as you saw here in a minute. Boom, check those out. Oh man. Everything works. All the soldering paid off. I think that front grille looks sick. I just love the way this looks right now. Should I turn off the lights? Let's go check. Let's turn those lights off real quick. All right, coming back here. Man, oh man. It's so wild. On the video, I can see it almost looks purple, but in real life, like where I'm at, they're blue. So just keep that in mind. They are not purple. They're like a really nice ocean blue. But God, I just love how that grill turned out. Everything looks really good. And then we also got our rigid lights hooked up too. So let's turn that on. Let's see. Oh, I gotta turn the key on. The key's down. The key solenoid is down here. So let's see. All right. Oh God, look how bright those things are. Those things are so bright. And that's just 2 driving lights. These are the D series driving lights. My Lord, the best light purchase that I've made. These things are so bright. They light everything up. You can't miss a thing with them on. The only thing I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to maybe figure out how I can embed some floodlights on the side. I'm thinking maybe this panel that goes right here. So let me turn these things off though. They're just way too bright for the neighbors. So I'm thinking maybe I can install some floodlights that can basically splash out to the side, so that way I have a 180-degree view. I don't know, we'll just have to figure that out. All right, folks, well, that's gonna do it for this part. Don't worry, I am gonna show you a finished product. We're still waiting on some fabric tape to come in, so that way I can tape up all these wires and make it look really nice and pretty. So stick around, because that is gonna come. Our next part is gonna be a new upgraded stereo. So make sure you're tuning in and turning on your notifications, so that way you know when we're dropping new videos, and we'll catch you later.